Discussion topic is SDLC models, that is Software Development Life Cycle Models. Today we will discuss some different types of models under software engineering which are following the SDLC structure. So these are the various subcontents which we are going to cover. Let's discuss the introduction about the SDLC models. This is the brief overview about the different models that can be used to make the software according to the requirement of the customer. So we can see that these are some of the 6 models, like waterfall model, the second one is iterative model, third is spiral model, then fourth is V model, fifth is Big Bang model, then sixth will be unified process model. So there are different phases or steps that are being followed in each model in order to deliver the perfect product to the customer according to the requirement. So we will discuss the models one by one. Let's begin with the waterfall model. Waterfall model follows the top-down approach, which means that we will follow the next step once we are done with the current step. In this waterfall model, if in case we want to get back to the previous step, that is not possible here. So this is the disadvantage in the waterfall model. But waterfall model is being used in the small projects which are having small requirements and small budget. So it is a kind of sequential or linear model, and another name that we can provide to this model is that it is non-iterative sequential model. So as I have told, there are some certain steps which need to be followed in order to produce the complete product. So the first step will be feasibility study. Here we need to understand whether the project or the product we are going to make is feasible or not according to the time complexity and the cost estimation and the employees needed. Everything need to be considered over here in this step. And the next is requirement analysis and defining. After analyzing each and every requirement, we need to pen down every requirement in the form of report or documentation, and we have to analyze each and every requirement, and then further we will move to the next step, that is designing phase. Here in the designing phase, we have to design and structure the entire system. Then about the coding and unit testing, where we need to create the actual project with the help of different programming languages and platforms. And after creation of the source code, we will check the modules, which is called as unit testing. Module by module, each module independently it will be checked, which is called as unit testing. After unit testing, it will be combined. It means that all the modules will be combined and integrated, and entirely it will be checked for the bugs or errors, which is called as system testing. Then we will move to the next step, that is deployment, where we need to finally deploy the product. So after deployment, we will have to deliver the product to the customer, like we have to install it, and after installation maybe the customer needs the organization's support and maintenance for the product. So these are the different steps. So if we talk about the features of the waterfall model, then it is also called as classic life cycle model and linear life cycle model. As we have discussed, it is very easy process to be implemented, where there are certain steps which are already predefined and need to be followed without any ambiguity. So here there is less risk in this model. Next we are come up with the iterative model. Iterative means that we have to follow all the steps which are mentioned in the waterfall model, but in the repeated manner. It means that once we are done with all the steps, then incrementally next again we will follow the same steps if required according to the modifications required by the user. So it will also follow the linear and parallel workflow. And after finishing off first cycle, we can show that product to the customer and we can get the feedback from the customer. If we need any kind of improvement or updation, that can be possible in this model. Next, we are having some advantages, like it is flexible and efficient. If customer needs, we can easily update the changes in the model, as we are having the incremental phase. Next is we are having less risk analysis also. But if we talk about the disadvantages, we are having some disadvantages also, like documentation work is very high over here. And as it is linear approach, we have to involve the customer's interaction after every cycle. And again to follow the cycle, that is a issue. So this is about iterative model. Next we are having spiral model, which is proposed by Boehm in 1985. It is having some circular phases, like it is shown in the diagram over here. It will start from prototyping, declaring, then we have to gather all the information from the customer, then we can analyze the report and bugs and risk can be analyzed. Then after that, source code will be written and checked for the bugs and errors. Finally, the product will be evaluated and delivered to the customer. So if we talk about the steps, overall we are having 4 steps, like planning, then risk analysis, then after third point is engineering, where coding and testing will be done. Then final step is evaluation, where the whole project will be evaluated. And if in case we want any kind of modification or improvement, that can be done. Next is V model. Why it is called as V model? There are two major steps, that is verification and validation. That is why it is called as V model. Verification means that first we need to check whether the software meets the required specifications. And if in case specifications are all meeting our requirement, then next is validation. Validation means that again we have to check whether the specification met are according to the customer's requirement or not. So these are the two major steps we can see in the diagram. Under verification, we are having information gathering, analysis, designing and module designing. Then the main part is the coding phase. After source code, then we have to do the bugs testing. The error-free software will be the best product. So we have to check the module by module testing, which is called as unit testing. Then integration testing. The whole system will be tested for the bugs. Then is system testing. Final product will be tested. If in case all the bugs are removed, finally it will be given to the customer. Next is Big Bang model. It is really very helpful when we are having the project where we are not aware about all the requirement of the user or the customer. In that case, we can follow the Big Bang model. And according to the interaction with the customer, we can update the system. So here we can say that it needs very least planning and there is no perfect structured manner which need to be followed for the software development. Next, if we talk about some disadvantages, it is not suitable for the large and complex softwares. So we can make only short projects with the less budget only. And another point is that it really doesn't fulfill the requirement of the OOPS concept, that is real world life problems, object oriented programming. It is Big Bang model. Next, last is the unified process model, which is also called as rational unified model. Here we are having the blueprint of the organization for the software, where we can include the programming language, the operating system which is required, and the different platforms or frameworks and servers which are required for creating the software. The features are, it is iterative process. Iterative means that we can follow the different incremental phases again and again according to the requirement. Next point is, it is an architecture centric software. Next point is, different cases according to the requirement can be followed or used. Again, next point is that it is perfectly suitable for the object-oriented programming, where we need to deal with the classes and objects concept and entities. The last point is customization and changes can be done. It means that if user wants to customize or to create the user defined things, that is possible. Various phases in the rational unified model are inception. Inception means that it establishes a basic understanding of the problem and the nature of the solution. And the next point is elaboration. Elaboration means that we just need to analyze overall functional and behavior of the system. Next is construction. Construction means that simply we need to build the code. Next point, fourth point is transition. It means that we need to convert the software according to the platform, like Android or operating system, whichever we are using. The last is production. We need to deliver the product to the customer. So this was about unified process model. Let's discuss some MCQs. First question is, we need to identify the false statement. There are two statements given. Statement P says validation means that to check the software that whether it meets the required specification or not. And the statement Q is verification. Verification, it is the process to check whether the specification meet the customer needs and requirements. The answer will be fourth point, neither P nor Q, which means both the statements given and the definitions for the validation and verification are very correct. Validation means that we have to check the software according to the specification. Then verification means we have to verify the system whether the specifications met are really according to the customer's need or not. Next question is, which of the following statement is not the benefit of using iterative model? So here we are having both the statements as correct, because the iterative model are really very flexible and efficient model as compared to the other models. And changes, if the customer want to update any kind of system or any code, that is possible in the incremental phase in the iterative model. Thus we can say that the first and second point are correct and the third point is incorrect. So the point fourth, option number fourth is the correct answer. Thus it was all about the different SDLC models. Thank you.